Hello, everybody. Today is Saturday, January the 11th, 2025, and we are back for another episode of Bricks and Beyond, a creator showcase series. For those of you that are joining for the very first time, Bricks and Beyond is a showcase series that highlights members of the LEGO community. Each episode of this series provides a personalized look at the builder behind the account, the person behind the account. Tonight's guest comes from the Evergreen State. She is a habitat builder, a mock builder, a photographer, and just an all-around great person. On Instagram, you may know her as Paige the Red Bill. Hopefully. Making myself... There we go. And she's sideways. Hello.
Like,
How are you? What an intro. And I lost her. She's frozen. Uh-oh. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining. Hang tight.
hold on.
I must say, this is a first.
All right, this is pretty typical. So I decided to do it on my tablet.
Oh, I see.
No, I'm upside down. Watch this. Let's see what happens.
There we go. There she is.
All right. Let's see if I can.
So, just so everybody knows, I do check in with everybody before each episode, and she was completely fine 5 minutes ago.
Totally
So,
normal. It's Keith. It's Keith. I was normal before.
yeah. I'll take the blame. It was my production crew. They screwed everything up. So,
It's my fault for deciding to use the tablet instead of just my little cell phone. I'm
so
like, my tablet will be easier. It'll be a bigger screen. Oh, I'll be sideways and upside down.
I didn't know. I actually, I originally wanted to run like through a laptop or a tablet, but I was reading that you couldn't. So I didn't think you could. So you actually are on your tablet right now.
Yeah, it's one of those iPad things. Obviously, I'm very technically inclined.
Yeah.
My husband, IT support at home, but
Okay.
there
Yeah. Yep. Well,
you go.
I apologize. If I would have known, I would have sent the production crew out. So,
Next time, next time.
so did I get that right in the introduction? You are the Evergreen State, correct?
Yeah, Washington's the Evergreen
Yes.
State.
Okay. Yep. That's what I thought. So I'm guessing you're probably liking. Have you seen some of the recent Bricklink series sets that are pending with like all the big? Or no, they're not evergreens. Those are sequoias. I'm getting. Do you have
No,
sequoias?
no, that's down in California. No,
Okay. All right. My bad.
I take that back. I mean, there are a few stray sequoias in
Okay.
Washington, but you're
Okay.
not going to find like a grove of them or anything,
Yeah.
or a
Yeah. Yeah.
forest.
Okay. So you're just Christmas trees.
Christmas trees, yeah, fir, pine, cedar,
Yep.
lots of cedar,
So
yeah.
you basically you have your run of the mill, like you can pick whatever you want.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, you name your evergreen tree, and we've got it around here somewhere.
Yeah. Didn't I can't remember they don't get the big Christmas tree from New York out your way, do they?
I have no idea where they get those gigantic trees. That's
I
a
thought
fun thing
yeah,
to
'cause
Google.
yeah, well, yeah, I'm just curious because I always think of Christmas Vacation where they put the tree on the car and then it isn't that Christmas Vacation where they put and then all the needles fall.
I love that.
So it makes you wonder how they get that tree to Times Square or not Times Square, wherever it Rockefeller is that Rockefeller Center where they take it somewhere over there.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, it makes you wonder how they transport it over there without it losing all of its needles. So
you really piqued my curiosity now. There's got to be a video or documentary out there that tells us that story.
I'm sure, yeah, I'm sure there is. Well, now when we're done here, I will go research that, as I'm sure you will as well. So, so anyways, other than the little introduction debacle, how are you today?
I'm good, good. It's Saturday. Love Saturdays. Have
Yes.
the day off. The
Yep.
kids have the day of school. So that's when I just become the nagging mom to get all the chores done around the house and yard. So we've been
Well,
busy. We're
hey,
finally taking down
that's oh well, yeah, I know. I did that last weekend. I still have my Lego tree up down here in the Lego room, so
Christmas.
I don't know. Trying to debate on when that goes down,
Like
but
a Lego tree, like just the set, or you mean something
so
really?
no, so I have a colored light Christmas tree, and then I collect all the Hallmark and Lego ornaments,
Oh,
and so it's filled with all of those.
oh,
So
nice.
yeah, yeah, I enjoy it. It's I don't know. I love Christmas, so I like that's why I'm struggling taking it down because it fits well in the room. So
Have you posted,
you know,
have you posted a picture of that?
I have not, but I certainly can now that you
Please,
mention it before I take it down.
please.
So I'll tag you in it just to make sure you see it as well.
Thank
So
you. Yeah, because I love this, and I really got into. I wanted to build an ornament every day, but Lego really kind of let me down in the PAB delivery department.
yeah, yeah,
They're basically months behind at this point.
yeah, yeah.
So,
I know. It's frustrating. Now, how far is your closest Lego store?
well, the store is pretty easy. I actually, I pretty much know everyone by name in my store. I
Yep.
drop in usually once a week on my way home from
Okay.
work, uh, right on the way, on the drive.
Oh,
So
that's nice.
yeah,
Yeah. So, yeah, it's nice when I mean you feel special when you walk in the Lego store and you're like, "Oh, hey, how you doing?"
yeah, yes, yes. They're like, "Hi, Paige." I'm like,
Uh,
"Pet,
that
pet me."
yeah. That's when we know we are fully committed to our hobby. So,
Well, I am. So I actually dragged my boys to the store Friday night last. God,
okay.
that was just last night.
Yep.
Um, so my school, our elementary school, is having a STEAM night. So STEM,
Okay.
but A
Yep.
for art.
Yep.
So STEAM, and we at PTA we had this brilliant idea. We want to have a little giveaway for all of our kiddos that come to the
Oh,
event.
nice.
And I said,
Okay.
well, I've managed to build some really economical little things
Sure.
out of PAP, my store. And so I went to the store and I figured something out. And I actually have it here. I figured out I could make a heart and then
Oh, nice.
I could
Yeah. Oh, that's cute. Yeah.
I the parts for 40 of these in one box. So that makes
Okay.
it 50 cents a heart.
That's nice.
So I bribed my boys to come with me to the store last night, so we could write it
Pack.
because
Yep.
the gal told me we should have enough for 300 kids. That's
Wow.
gonna take a really long time because
Yeah. Wow.
I mean they're I pack them solid. This is like
Hmm.
right
Yeah,
like
like a brick. Yep. Yep.
so and I have 5 of those so far, but I think I'll need 2 or 3 more.
Okay. Yeah. I did that in Christmas for the snowmen for my Lego club.
Yeah.
I think we were there for just about 3 hours packing boxes to get 90 snowmen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to ask because I remember
Yeah.
you mentioned that
Yeah.
somewhere, and I was,
Yep.
yeah, I did 40, so I did one
Okay.
box, and
Yeah. Yeah.
that had to take at least an hour to
Okay.
do, maybe
Okay.
an hour and a
Yeah.
half.
Yeah, I mean it's we were going off of I mean you were trying to go off a free build that you created, so that makes it even more complicated. We at least had instructions to, count how many pieces we needed per snowman.
Yeah.
So I mean you had to figure out the building part and then actually get them. But when you know the people at the Lego store, like we do,
Mhm.
did they bring like did you have to pick the pieces off the wall or were they like, oh hey, let me go grab the boxes for you?
No, I just grabbed handfuls of parts off the wall.
Okay. Yep.
They would
Yep. Well,
they would have certainly like they're so sweet though. I mean, they're always like, "Hey, is there anything particular you're looking for? I can
yeah.
check the back." So they're always doing that for their customers.
Yeah.
I think the staff at those stores they're just fantastic.
I
So
agree. Yeah. I said if I if I could have another job, that's where I would want to work.
because I end up talking to everybody like I'll be back there, packing because I pack my boxes tight. Like I will
Mhm.
spend the hour to
Yeah,
get every millimeter filled,
I agree.
and I'll be back there hanging out for probably an hour, and I'll just be chatting up customers. I'll see them come up to get checked out. I'm like, oh, that's such a great set.
Did you get the one that goes with it?
Right. God loves that Meg,
Yeah. That's good. Yeah. Um, I know the feeling, so you're not
Good.
alone. Now, I know it was a few weeks ago, but how was Christmas? How was New Year? You guys do anything special celebrations or
Um,
anything?
a lot of our family lives locally, so we
Oh, nice.
stay home
Okay.
and visit different houses on different days. My
Okay.
in-laws
Nice.
Eve, and it's a really wonderful, special night. And then Christmas Day is at my house,
Okay.
and then a few days later, we're at another, part of our families for kind of a not quite Boxing Day, but something similar. So
Sure.
a
Okay.
lot of a lot of fun, a lot of family, and it's
That's good.
great.
That's good. It's
And
nice to have people close.
yeah, and New Year's Eve we go to bed early, or I did. My daughter and
Yep.
I went to bed early. The boys stayed up.
Okay.
So yeah,
Yeah. I'm not a New Year's person, so I just kind of, it is what I probably stay up, watching a movie or something, but I don't do the whole
yeah,
ball drop thing.
or
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Now, so Christmas. I know you said you have three kids. Now, are they Lego kids as well?
Um, not, I mean, so the boys really love to build still.
Okay.
Every time I go to the store, my 14-year-old has got to buy another like Ninjago
Oh, sure.
set.
Sure.
And my youngest, my 10-year-old, if he has any allowance, which is usually he's usually burned through that pretty fast, he
Yep.
would definitely buy something every time he goes, and
Okay.
that's usually like Ninjago or like a maybe a Jurassic Park sort of
Oh,
thing.
nice. Okay.
So yeah, the boys are really into it. They love the minifigures, the sets. They both do mocking. I'll
Okay.
there's this really cool, essentially used brick store
Hmm.
near us, like 5 minutes
Okay.
away, and they're fantastic. Bricks and Wheels,
Bricks
and they,
and wheels, did you say?
yeah, because they also sell Hot Wheels.
Oh, that's interesting. That's the first time I
Yeah,
ever heard of that before. Okay. Is that a
yeah.
franchise or just
Uh,
like a
Uh,
one off?
it's privately owned,
Okay.
but they have three
Okay.
stores, and they're terrific. The owner and the folks that work there, I just love them to pieces. They're so
Okay.
great, and of course they have a big bulk
Okay.
table, and they put things in frequently that are like partially built,
Okay.
like they just take things apart partially and leave the chunks in
Sure.
there.
Yeah.
And my youngest, he loves to just riff off of that, right? Like I bring home a part something cool that's partially built, and he just boom,
Oh, that's
like
awesome.
having
Yeah.
that starting point, he just goes nuts and builds these cool vehicles and
Okay.
spaceships and all kinds of stuff. Yeah,
Ooh, you know what? I appreciate you telling me that because that's actually sounds like a fun idea for a Lego club where you have somebody start building something and then like halfway through you split it off and see how somebody can make it.
that's
Oh, thank
a
you for
great,
that.
yeah,
I
yeah.
appreciate that. I like that a lot. Okay. See, I didn't know you were giving me anything tonight, so I appreciate that.
I only charge
Uh,
10%, 10%.
Fair enough. All right. Now, so what about you? Did you have a Christmas list of Lego sets?
Uh, well, yeah, I got the Mona Lisa.
Nice. Okay.
So I studied art history in school, and I still have a deep love for it.
Sure.
I'm an art docent at our elementary
Okay.
school, so I'm a volunteer art
Yes.
teacher essentially.
Okay.
And so I love all the Lego art sets.
Okay.
You can't if
I
I
see
tilt this. So
is that, did you make that the
yep,
flower wall?
yeah, that's mine. And then up here I've got the Van Gogh and the Great Wave.
Yep. Okay.
Um,
I see your
so
periodic table
yeah,
behind you as well.
I love that
I
thing.
do
I
too.
think they did a great job. I love the Lego and science mixed together. I just think
Yeah.
that's awesome.
I I wish I know they wouldn't make money on it then, but I wish they had a trade-in program, because like when they make the new colors, I wish you could trade it in to get the new one, but
Yeah.
you know, yeah. Now,
Oh yeah.
I want to talk about that flower mosaic, I guess we'll
Yeah.
call it, flower wall. So my buddy built one too. Now, is that has like that mesh? Is that what it is behind it, where you stick the flowers into it or
Yeah,
something?
it's like a fake plastic boxwood.
Okay.
So it does have like a fake greenery in it,
Okay.
and it is sort of meshed in the back.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
you can stick the stems through and
Yeah.
find, different ways to keep it from falling back
Okay.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, I was never a botanical person, but then when I realized that you can consider them decorations in a house.
Yeah.
So like we put them in the bathroom, like they,
Really?
with the holidays. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean we have like the things on the walls, the little shelves. So you put the flowers on there, and they don't die. That's the best part of them. So you can decorate your house, and they don't die. So
Thank goodness, because I am horrible with indoor plants. Like I just and they're so pretty, and I have some over there, and right now, like, oh God, I'm like, I literally torture indoor
yeah,
plants. Like, I take them to the brink of death, get them some water, they come
uh,
back. Like,
you know,
I'm mean.
Lego. I think Lego's really missing something here. Almost dead botanicals. So they're true to life.
Yes, yes, exactly.
Let's remember that. You and I can go in on that, and we'll send it over to Lego. So,
Yeah, it'll be the newest idea set. I can see it now. We'll definitely
oh, geez.
at
See,
10,000.
you never know what you're going to come up with, you know?
Mm.
All right. So, before we get into any more Lego chat, just want to give people a little bit of insight into you. Now, so obviously you said, so you are in Washington. Now, did you grow up in Washington?
I did. I have lived here my
Okay.
entire life.
Same
Yeah.
area, or did you move around at all?
Well, I'd say sort give or take the same area.
Okay.
Always, um, the outlying areas of Seattle.
Okay.
So I've
Nice.
lived fairly close to Seattle, say 30 to 60 minutes.
Okay.
Um, and except when I was growing up in the summers, I lived on the coast with my
Oh,
grandparents.
nice.
My
Oh, that's
uh,
nice.
so rather than being in daycare all day during the summer, while my folks would be at work, we just lived with my
That's
grandparents, and it
that's
was
nice.
total like Tom Sawyer, Huck Finn
Yeah, yeah,
kind
sure.
of on sports and beach and going swimming and riding the bikes. It was
The
a
good
pretty sweet
life.
deal.
Yeah,
Yeah, really.
yeah. Now, do they have any, excuse my ignorance, but do they have any lighthouses up that way?
Uh, Not in that area. I know
Okay.
Oregon has rockier coasts, and they have
Okay.
some lighthouses, but I'm trying to think. There could possibly be a lighthouse really far north on the Washington coast, but the Washington coast just isn't very rocky.
Okay. I haven't been out there. It's one of my bucket list places to visit. So, yeah, I'm just not familiar. And I was just curious because anytime I think of like that area, I always feel like it's just like lighthouses and water and big trees and lots of
Mhm.
land. Like that's what I tend to think of. So,
Yeah, well, that's
um,
the right imagery, and it's gorgeous.
oh,
So
I bet. Yeah, which we're gonna get into that because I know you said you're a nature person. So I'm interested to hear some of that. Now, do you have any siblings?
I do have a brother. He's just 13 months younger than I am,
Oh,
and
okay.
he lives down in Oregon.
Oh, nice. Okay. So do you guys get to see each other often then?
Not no, you know, but I drove the kids and I drove down to Portland on New Year's Day,
Okay.
and with my brother, we spent the day at the zoo
Oh,
hanging out.
nice.
So
Okay.
because I had
So,
enough, the dude is not driving up to see me. Now, mind you, I mean, he's a postal carrier, and he'll get
okay.
one day off right here, and then another day off here, and they're never consecutive. So
Yeah.
it's a lot, for him to work, drive to Seattle, and then
Yeah,
drive
I
back.
get it.
So
Yeah. Now,
I
so to be at the zoo, what's the weather like? Is it cold right now?
I would say that we're having a mild winter so far, although our winter really doesn't kick in usually till the end of January and early
Okay.
February. If we're going to get snow, it's usually like late January, early February. Like it frequently snows around Valentine's Day around here.
Okay. Yeah.
Uh,
Yep.
but it's not warm. I mean, it's cold, it's gray, it's wet most of the time. You have the occasional sun breaks, but usually it's just gray for like 6 months.
Yeah. Well, so I live in Pittsburgh. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah.
But we often get compared to you guys up in
Really?
Seattle. We're like the Seattle of the East. I think we get maybe 60 days of sunshine.
No kidding.
So, yeah.
Wow. Yeah. And, and yeah, we're like twinsies.
Yeah, we're twins on the different sides of the coast. So, yeah, that's yeah, it's depressing. I
It
mean,
Great
It's
art.
crazy. Yeah, when you feel the sun or see the sun, it's crazy how your mood changes.
It's like a
I don't know.
miracle,
Yeah, yeah,
magic.
yeah. No, I hear
Everybody
you.
strips off their clothes. Like
Yeah.
it could be 55 to 50 degrees out, and people will be in shorts if the sun comes out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how we are here. Yeah, even though it's still cold, when you see the sun, it's time to put shorts on and no
Mhm.
jacket. And then, the next day everybody has pneumonia. So, yeah,
Yeah,
I get it. I get it. All right, so now I'm going to bring it up. So, nature. So, obviously, you said you have a big love for nature,
I do.
and you also do photography.
Mhm.
Now, let's keep Lego out of it for the
Okay.
moment.
hmm
But can you tell us how you like to intertwine both nature and photography, and what you kind of enjoy with both?
Uh, well, I think so. When I was a kid, my dad would take my brother and I all kinds of state parks. Washington is
Okay.
packed with state parks, so
Yeah.
I was out in nature a lot. And my dad was is a photographer as well.
Oh, nice.
Nothing professional, but he did a lot of photography, and
Okay.
somehow that just always clicked with me. So I remember for my eighth grade graduation, he gave me a Minolta film
Okay.
camera.
Yep.
uh,
Okay.
I've always liked photography. And then COVID like changed my life.
Sure.
Uh, and it's funny, because I thought, so I had this grand idea because I was going to turn 50 that year.
Okay.
Um, okay, every month I'm going to do something special.
Sure.
And in my head, it's like, I'm going to go to the theater and I'm going to go to the ballet and I'm going to, like things that I used to do when I was young before
Yep.
kids. Um, and just something special to lead up to my 50th. And then COVID happened. You couldn't do anything
Nope. Not a
except
thing.
except go outside.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
all of a sudden I was noticing things that I had never noticed before. And okay, fun story. There in Japanese culture, there's this concept of 72 micro seasons. So we've got
Interesting.
4 seasons, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
and they even have cool names like uh, I'm going to get them wrong, so I'm going to be essentially making them up. But like the the mist rises,
Yeah.
the
Interesting. Okay. Yeah.
uh, the the um, the screech owl returns.
Okay.
Just things like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yep.
Uh, and you could actually see these micro seasons because I would see something like, oh, that would make a great picture, a great close up picture, but life, distractions, children, work, whatever, and let's say I don't get back to that plant in a few
Yeah.
days
Yeah.
and it looks completely different.
Yeah.
Like I've missed the shot.
Yeah.
And it wasn't because a flower died. I mean, it's just constantly evolving and changing. Um, so I just would, collect things,
Okay.
anything that drew my attention. And I had run across an photographer artist on Instagram, and her blog is called Still,
Okay.
and um, she did this beautiful flat lay photography. She just has a white background and puts what she finds on there and takes a photograph.
Okay.
And it's a nice, like the white balance is really cranked up.
Oh, yeah.
It's very stark and beautiful, and it just spoke to me, and I started doing that really regularly.
Sure.
Um, and but I would say, so I feel comfortable saying that some of my photos are really beautiful. Like they really speak to me when I do these photos, and it was very meditative to have that time where I'm not dealing with kids, I'm not dealing with
Yeah.
work
Yep.
or chores or whatever, and I am in this moment handling this piece of nature
Sure.
and observing it and posing it, let's say, and getting very close up to it and taking these photos. And it's just very therapeutic for me to do that. So I'm outside, I'm with nature, which I love. It drives my kids a little crazy because like, oh mom, can't we just keep walking? Like, we're on a hike. No, I gotta take this picture.
Yeah, no, and that's something that I feel bad. Like I'm in a kind of a suburb, I'm close enough to a big city, but when you have people who live in like DC or New York, like they have zero idea if they never have left the city, like what it's like to actually be somewhere that's just quiet.
Yeah,
Like you can literally hear yourself think. And I'm sure a lot of the area close to you, I mean, it's just there's nothing.
yeah,
And when you live in a big city, like sometimes I think that's why people have so much stress is because they don't ever have the time just to step away from everything and truly like have themselves a moment because sometimes that's all you need is just a moment away from
yeah.
everything. And I think you're lucky to have that for sure.
Yeah, we're very blessed. We have 1.3 acres, and our neighbors all have about an acre. We
That's
live
nice.
we live like 3 minutes away from a botanical
Oh,
garden that's
oh,
open
nice. Okay.
March through October, so we pop in there all the time.
Okay.
So yeah, and then state parks that are such a close drive. I mean, there's a state park that's only 15 minutes from our house.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, any chance did you take the botanical garden over to the botanical garden to show? If did you buy that set?
I, well, so I didn't buy the idea set
Okay.
because I had already taken the Friends botanical set and modified
I
it
expected that from you. So
because so the Friends set is so wonderful, but it just bothered me so much that it wasn't symmetrical
yeah.
because these conservatories are symmetrical.
Yeah.
Gosh
Yep.
darn it.
Yep.
Um, we have one in Seattle, and my dad used to take my brother and I all the
Okay.
time. And so I bought two of them,
Yep.
and I essentially mirrored the other side and changed the entrance and added a few other things. And so I have my own. I'm very, very happy
Yeah.
with it. So I won't be buying the idea set.
I remember I almost did that and then they announced the idea set and so I ended up with that. But I mean I love some of the mocks that people have made. I mean they're kudos to the design of the ideas one, but I think there are some that are much better than
Yeah, the idea set
but
is a beautiful classic, design.
yeah,
So it's
yeah,
lovely.
yeah. But as you can only sell within a means. Like some of the mocks that there are far and above what you could ever sell in a set. So you can't really compare, apples to oranges. But
Yeah.
um all right, so then going back to something else you said, so you volunteer as an art teacher.
Yes.
Now can you give some insight into that? Like what age of kids do you typically work with and maybe some of the projects that you've worked on with them?
Yeah, so I've been doing it for 10 years.
Okay.
I started when my kids were little. I remember taking my kids to school for the first time as a kindergartner,
Oh,
right?
sure, yeah.
And, and the PTA does a presentation at open house,
Okay.
to try to this is what a PTA is and this is what we do. And they talked about this whole art docent thing. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Whoa, what is this? What are
Yeah,
you
yeah.
talking about? And in our state does not fund art teachers
Yeah,
for elementary school.
that's interesting.
Yeah, and
I don't understand that.
I know. I mean, they have music in elementary, but not a dedicated art teacher.
Hmm,
Not until so it's not available to middle school, and it's an elective. So some kids may
interesting.
never take art when you think
Huh.
about it. So it would be completely up to the teachers how much art a kid gets, and that's a
Okay.
lot for
Yeah.
teachers. They're all working on all these other
Yep.
core curriculums. So so I've been teaching for 10 years, and I usually put together my own lessons,
Okay.
and I do focus on the educational aspect of it. And the kids, gosh, kids are so smart and it's so fun. I could spend an hour just showing them
Yeah.
pictures and asking them
Yeah.
questions and getting feedback and observations. But we also teach them about the core elements like color and texture and
Okay.
lines and principles like balance and contrast and so forth. And I've taught kindergarten through sixth grade.
Okay.
And
You've had the whole gauntlet.
right, and kindergarten's wild, right? Because you might tell them something like, I'll say something, oh, and shiny, that's a type of texture, and someone will say, I have a goldfish that's shiny, and then literally 10 kindergartners like, I have a gerbil, I have a cat, I have a dog, and you're like, whoa.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Yep. That's why we love them.
Yes. Oh, So I love it. I'm the favorite aunt when I arrive in the
Okay.
classroom. Oh, Mrs. It, are you teaching art today? What are we doing? Um, and uh, and I get hugs, and it's really
Yeah.
fun, and we do all kinds of projects. Like the whole idea is to also introduce them to different medium.
Okay.
So, we could I've done paint and
Okay.
watercolor and different paper and oil pastels and chalk pastels. Um, and even some other things like are you familiar with the glass artist Chihuly?
Can't
Um,
say I am.
Okay, well, he's actually he's from Washington, and he
Okay.
does these beautiful glass sculptures. And he's exhibited all over the world. He's a big deal for what he
Yeah,
does.
sure.
And I there's this project where you can take just a cheap plastic cup from like the dollar store
Okay.
and cover it in Sharpies, so you can color it with different color Sharpies.
Okay.
And then what I do is I pop it in the oven for a couple minutes, and it melts
Hmm.
it a little bit,
Oh,
and it
interesting.
looks like this glass sculpture.
Interesting. Okay.
So I've also done lots of like 3D or dimensional type
Oh, cool. Yeah.
things. That's
Yeah.
my goal, is that at least one project each year has some kind of dimension to it. It's
Okay.
not always flat drawing or painting type art.
Yeah.
So
Gotcha.
yeah,
Okay. Well, so it sounds like you offer a lot to now. Since it's a volunteer base, like, how do they fit that into day-to-day school? Like, is it something they have to do after school, or do they build it into the
no,
day?
no, we partner with the teacher in the classroom.
Oh,
So
okay.
if we're lucky, there is a docent for every classroom, tied to each teacher.
Okay.
And so they work out the schedule. Like for me, I do it once a month on a Friday in the
Oh,
afternoon,
nice. Okay.
which makes it easier for me to flex my work schedule because I have a
Sure.
full-time job.
Yeah.
So I
Okay.
work from home on Friday, pop into the school, do my volunteering, teach my art, and then I just, flex my schedule at work.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. Well, good. Yeah. I'd say it sounds like the kids are pretty lucky to have you and what you bring
Yeah,
to them. So
thank you.
yeah, for sure. All right. So Lego talk. Now what everybody's been waiting for, the Lego talk here. All right. So we're gonna go back to when you were little. All right. So I'm really gonna test you here.
Yeah,
All right. So general question. Do you remember, was Lego part of your life when you were a kid?
definitely. I still have the Lego I had when I was a kid in the 80s.
You are one of the first to answer yes to that question, as far as actually having stuff. Okay. So did you have sets, or were you like bulk bricks, or a mixture of both?
Both. So I have a few of, so typical. My brother got the space sets, right? And I got I wouldn't even know what you call them. So I'll call them like early home or city sets. I had like a little
Okay.
house, and I had a little hospital with a little
Okay.
ambulance,
Yep.
and the base plates with, it even had little dots for where you built the hospital
Oh,
and house.
interesting. Okay.
And we have the moon plates as well.
Yep. Yep.
So we're very fortunate that my mom held on to
Yeah.
it during our
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
is often called the dark
The dark
years,
age.
right?
Yep. Yep.
Um, so she held on to all that, and I ended up with it, I think, when she moved to Arizona,
Okay.
and um, and there's a lot of just typical 2x4 bricks in there.
Sure.
So I think it must have had a mixture of bulk in there as well.
Okay.
So
Um, now, so what would you say what would you say your dark ages was from, like, when was the last time you remember doing something with Lego and then starting back up again?
well, I only remember doing it for a few years when I was very young. So I'm gonna guess that I was probably 10. Well, let's see. When did those space sets come out? Early 80s. So I was probably anywhere from 10 to 14.
Okay.
I don't know. And then, I wasn't doing Lego through high school or
Sure.
college, and even in my 20s. Lego didn't come back into my life until we had our kids.
Okay. Yep.
And then we're getting Friends sets, Star Wars sets, City sets. So, Nexo Knights,
Yeah. Yeah.
so
Yep.
just every year we were bringing more Lego into the house.
Okay.
It was always for the kids until I think it was 2022
Okay.
when the Van Gogh
Yeah.
set came out, Starry
Okay.
Night, and my life has been changed forever.
So, so you didn't get pulled in because I know a lot of people say they got pulled in the COVID years when, you were stuck
No,
at, well, so I guess you were out in nature in that time
yeah,
doing that stuff.
hmm
So you guys, so that, yeah, I guess it's interesting that you say that because when I talk to all these different people, I think you're one of the first people that is actually in a place where you actually can go and like we just said, like enjoy life.
yeah,
Like you're not just stuck in like a city center or like even suburban, like where most of the people I talk to, it's just like buildings and
yeah,
concrete.
yeah,
So it's funny how even people in different places during COVID did different things. So like your city people, they couldn't do what you did, so they were stuck inside, and that's
yep,
how Lego, really came popular to them. And there you are enjoying life out in nature, and
yeah,
then after that, then you get brought into it. So it's interesting seeing the dynamic of how different people handled those years. Um, because they certainly were interesting, as we all know.
yeah. Well, honest,
um,
honestly, we loved it. I won't
yeah,
lie. We
yeah,
loved it. We got
yeah,
to spend all day. I mean, yeah, we worked from home, but we got to see our children all day, every day for almost
yep,
2 years. It was amazing.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Something that, yeah, some people, when you look back, you're lucky that you had to have that because,
yeah,
as they say, you don't have them forever, so you have to enjoy the times that you do have. So,
yeah.
um, now about that brother of yours. Now, what did he do? Did he have the same kind of? Is he in the Lego
Oh,
now, or is he?
no,
No.
no.
Okay. So does he have the space sets? Did you say, or did he give those to
No,
you?
I have those. So
Okay,
all
so
the
you do
Lego
have them. Okay.
and I both had ended up in this one big plastic container, and
Okay.
I've got it. And I actually sorted through it about a year ago. I thought I was going to rebuild them all. That this is the
Oh,
idea I had in my head. I was
yeah.
going to rebuild sets. So I went through all the Lego to find the pieces. I even spent the time differentiating between the old Lego and the
Okay.
new,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, good for
Blues
you.
and grays and things. So I actually tried to find all the old pieces. So I was making it authentic.
Okay. Yeah.
Uh, and it's all in a bin right now, and I haven't rebuilt it, but it's ready to go. I was only missing a few parts, and I got those on Bricklink, so I'm
Nice.
ready to go. And I've
Okay.
got time,
Yeah. Good.
or probably space is the bigger problem. Is
Yeah.
if I build it, where would I put it? So yeah,
Space sets are definitely a problem for space. Yeah, I know. That tends to be a common problem.
mm, yeah.
Um, so when you did get back into Lego, so what was there like a first set that kicked everything off that you specifically remember, like one set in particular,
It
or
was
was it just like,
that Van
oh, the
Gogh
Van
set.
Gogh? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Yep. Okay. Now,
yeah.
was that meant for you or was that meant for
Yes,
somebody else? It was for you.
it was for
Okay.
me. That's what brought me into Lego, because like I said, we had plenty of Lego in the house, but it was
Yeah.
all for the kids. The kids played with it. I rarely participated in Lego building with them.
Okay.
So
Sure.
my only job was like helping them find a piece that was lost. Like that
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
extent of my involvement.
I
And
get it.
then when that Van Gogh set came in, and I'm like, what? There's Lego for adults, and they make art sets. I was so
Uh,
I bought that, and that was the first thing. And God, and then I discovered there's such a thing as a Lego store. I mean, it's kind of funny because I mean, a lot of people just buy them at like box stores,
Mhm.
right? Lego or Amazon, and
Yep.
that's where we typically bought our Lego sets for the kids.
Sure.
And but then I discovered there's actually a Lego store in the mall, and they sell loose pieces, and you have a build a minifigure station, and
Yeah.
there's all cool minifigures. And then I'm on Instagram and I'm seeing what people are doing, and
You fell down
I'm pretty
the
sure
rabbit hole.
absolutely. I mean, I was at PTA the other night, and some of the moms were like, you may need an intervention.
Yeah.
Like, no, you don't understand. If you understood, you wouldn't say that.
Hey, I am a supporter, so I support what you're doing.
Thank you.
I'm the worst person to come to because I continue to provide support. So because I'm looking for the return support.
Right? We all enable each other. We're all a bunch of Lego
Yes.
junkies, and we enable each other and
Yes.
support each other
Yeah.
in our beautiful, beautiful addiction.
Exactly. Exactly. So I'm actually, it's funny you say that. I'm in this little mode here where I started hearing that word addiction, with people
Mhm.
saying, I have a Lego addiction and whatnot. And I started thinking about it one day and I said, should we really be using that word? So I have a big plan of something I'm going to roll with after I get to for my Lego follow attempts, I have a day I'm going to stop. And after that, I'm going to turn to this project I have.
Mhm.
And I'm hoping to change the word. I've been using passion.
Passion.
Um, and I'm hoping to change that. And I'll get into it I'm going to have a big post I'm going to put up. But I thought you get what I'm saying.
Oh,
It is an addiction. It is. But I just started thinking, I said, I wonder if we should try to be using a different word.
yes.
So that's my goal for 2025 is I want to replace addiction with passion. So
Yeah, and I actually, it's funny you say that because I don't actually typically use the word addiction. That just
no,
popped
yeah,
out.
no, and
I
but
don't
that's
I don't think of
that's
it
what you
that
think of.
way.
No,
What was it? I was talking to someone um at work. They offer health coaches.
oh yeah,
And so I meet with this gal once a month online, just to talk about things that I want to accomplish, and and we really focused over the last year on
sure,
joy, right? And she used this great terminology. So she said, you were at a joy deficit page,
okay,
and whether I know you also want to get into fitness and nutrition, but you were at a joy deficit and
sure,
you found your joy
yeah,
this last year.
yeah,
and
yeah,
um and so I think passion is the right
hmm
terminology for what we do.
yeah,
um I just it genuinely makes me
yeah,
calmer when I need a break.
yep,
I love how tactile it is. I love the creativity of it. I love the fun and mischievousness of it because I mean, those are some of my favorite things
yeah,
about Lego. I know
yeah,
a lot of people build very serious things,
yeah, yeah,
very incredibly serious, beautiful, gorgeous builds. But a lot of the things that I like, I'm like, I need a smile on my face,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Things
I agree.
that make me grin.
I
Yeah.
agree. Well, so you segued very nicely into this next topic here. Um, from what I've seen, you're a pretty marvelous mock builder and habitat builder, I would say. And I know we talked about the other day. I believe you have your first mock with you that you ever
Yeah.
did.
Yeah. So I think it was 2022. I bought the Holiday Lane set
Yeah.
and
Okay.
a couple other things that came out that year for Christmas. A friend of mine had this beautiful, glorious Lego holiday setup, like a huge Christmas village.
Sure.
Like they've been buying Christmas Lego sets for years.
Okay.
And I'm like, I want that. That's what I want for Christmas. I don't want a ceramic Christmas village. I want a Lego.
Yes. Yes.
But I was just getting into, the hobby, and there were some little sets like, oh, you can get this cute little workshop, but it's, you have to spend
Yeah.
$150 on Lego to get this gift with purchase.
Yep.
So I'm like, well, I bet I could build my own. And my son even helped me build like a little chest that's in it. Sorry, it's a little
No,
dusty,
that's
but
all right.
so this was my first little,
Wow. Oh, that's really cool. I really like that. Oh, that's really cute.
and we just want, I like it being open and playable,
Yep.
right?
Are
Uh,
those, yeah, those are see-through red bricks on the back, right?
yeah,
That's
because we
really
didn't
cool.
have anything solid, and we
Yeah.
thought it looked cool. So,
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, yeah, very
and
nice.
these are huge. Like this is one solid
Oh,
piece. It's a really big
wow.
piece. I don't know what set it came from.
Okay.
And then I also I was interested in a little ice skating rink, and so I made myself
Oh,
a
that's
little
nice.
ice rink.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That actually does look
Oh.
better than one of those ice skating rinks.
Well, I was looking online to see if I could maybe get one on, I don't know, eBay, or I don't even know if I knew about Bricklink at that time.
Yeah.
But I didn't really like the look of the little one
Yep.
that Lego had, so I made my own,
Well,
and it made me very happy.
see,
So those
that's
were
where
my
you're.
my
That's where you're at an advantage because when you have a creative mind, if you don't like something Lego does, you can just do, whatever you want to do. So,
that's that's usually how my brain works. Like I don't feel like I come up with like, and perhaps no one comes up with a strictly original idea. Is there
yeah,
such a thing of an original idea
no.
when we have, all this input and exposure and inspiration all over the place? But I'll look at something, I'm like, that would be good if it was different in this way,
Sure.
and then I get to make it my own. So
Yep.
yeah, and then there's the engineering aspect of it too, like making it work.
Oh,
I saw this really cool. Somebody did a little build. It was like a fabric
oh,
wall,
oh,
right?
nice.
And
Okay.
it's like rolls and folds of fabric, and like I need to incorporate that into a habitat for an artist.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I saw their post and I watched their video and I was trying to duplicate it and I managed to duplicate it, but there's no way it was going to work in the habitat. So then I
Okay.
had to completely take it apart and start over and
Sure.
engineer it for my space for what I
Yeah.
needed.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
I love the problem solving aspect of it because I'm like, okay, what parts do I have that will solve this problem? How can I
Yeah.
connect to these things? And how can I make it fit? And it's draining sometimes because it takes so much
Yeah.
energy because I am thinking very hard to try to figure out this problem and solve it. But it's so rewarding when you
It
do.
is. Yeah, it
Um,
is.
and so like there's an artist, her name's Faith Ringgold,
Okay.
and she's famous for what she called painted quilts.
Okay.
So I'm like, I need a fabric wall for this habitat. I'm making
Sure.
artist habitats. So I was able to
Oh,
figure out
wow.
how
Uh,
um
that's really cool.
like a fabric wall,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Yep.
then I got an idea for a sewing machine from
I like
online.
that a lot. Yeah. That's incredible.
And
Yeah. It looks like when you walk in the fabric store, there you go.
yeah, and then I took a bunch of minifigures apart to create her the way I thought she should look.
Sure.
And so yeah, I mean, it's 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 a lot of fun figuring these out. I get so jazzed,
Yeah.
like I have a good idea. I have a good idea. And then it's like, and I was able to build it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That it's rewarding. Yeah, it really is.
I feel like
It's
a
rewarding
little
too.
kid that won a blue ribbon. Every time I come up with an idea and I'm actually able to build it,
Yeah.
I feel like $100. You
Yeah,
know?
no, I agree. I agree. Yeah, it makes you feel good. No, I agree completely. Um, so how so again, so you're in big into the habitats. So um when one of the challenge like the habitat challenges come out, can you kind of like run me through your typical thought process? So when somebody puts an idea out there,
Yeah.
how do the wheels start spinning?
Well, I didn't think I was big into habitats, but I have done quite a few of them.
Yeah.
And, and what's funny is, a lot of people, gosh, there's some people that are just genius with these habitats. Like what
Yes.
they can make them, like they think about them from both
Yeah.
sides. They think about how they're going to look all stacked up together and how
Yep.
they'll unify.
Yep.
I do not plan that far ahead. I remember not this last Halloween, but the Halloween before.
Okay.
Jen, who hosts most of these habitat
Yeah.
challenge,
Yeah.
um, uh, she hosts a Halloween one, and I wanted to do it because I do love Halloween, and I had this idea, and it was just one idea for one habitat. I wanted to make a little like closet or armoire cabinet
Okay.
that had tentacles coming out of the
Uh,
door with
Oh,
eyeballs.
interesting. Yeah.
And it turned out great. And I saved it. I could put it in my Halloween house. But
Oh, nice.
then I'm like, okay, what's the next one? Okay, I use minifigures are a really good
Sure.
inspiration. In fact, I think Jen, that's the recommendation she makes. Like, oh, you want an idea for a habitat? Start with a
Uh,
minifigure,
that
right?
makes sense.
And
Yeah.
give that minifigure an environment. And so I'm like, okay, I'm getting my Halloween minifigures. I'm like, okay, I'll do something with Frankenstein and a mad scientist, or I'll do something with this guy. But what I found is I kept coming back to the eyeballs,
Okay.
and so I managed to incorporate eyeballs or tentacles with eyeballs in
Oh,
all of
nice.
them. So
Yeah.
when it
Okay.
was stacked, it looked even more unified
Oh, that's really cool.
than just being Halloween. So
Yeah.
honestly, it's all by accident.
Yeah.
Everything's an accident. You never know what's going to pop in your head. Like it's
Yeah. No, you
all
don't.
a great
Yeah.
accident.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's the best part about Lego building is you can start with one thing and then you can quickly veer off into another direction. So and that's the best part about free building. Sets are great.
Mm-hmm.
They were made to be built a certain way, but when you free build, you can just do what you want, how you want it. So, and
Yeah.
that's what I applaud you guys. Like I did a couple of habitats this past year. I did some with my Lego club, and some of the kids there, like I was really afraid that that would be a lot for them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Blew me away. I mean, absolutely blew me away some of the things they came up with. So
It's a
you can't ever,
great size,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
It's not
yeah,
overwhelming. Like I think everyone could have fun with a habitat. It's a
yeah,
great way to start with mock
yeah.
building.
I know, like some did struggle because of the size. Like, how do you fit so
Uh,
much into a small space? But I mean, you've seen what people do shove in a small space. I was like, are they using the proper base or plate size? Because I don't think they are. Um, I know I did mention this the other day when we talked about the you and your art sets. So you do love the
yeah,
Lego art sets, and I was drawing a blank because I know I brought up about Lego ideas. Um,
yeah,
I know you hadn't thought about it, I think, too much yet,
mm.
but would you ever consider building your own art set and putting it on ideas?
Yeah, yeah. I would. I've had a couple ideas in mind for art sets, but I haven't taken the time
Mhm.
to put pen to paper or brick
Sure.
to plate, so to
Yeah.
speak. Um,
Yeah.
so so we'll see. I was even thinking I'd try to put something together for a brick convention in Oregon
Okay.
in May,
Oh,
but
nice.
I'm not sure if I'll get my act together in time. But we'll see. I mean, maybe I'll start playing with it, and
Sure.
maybe it would be ready for my Seattle convention in September. Who knows? But
Okay.
yeah, I do want to start playing with that. I've seen other people doing some really fun art things. You know, I would love to do some greebling. You know,
Oh yeah. Oh
and
gosh. Yeah.
I really like that. That speaks to me,
Mhm.
and I think there's some really great opportunities to translate pieces of art using greebling. So
That
I might.
is that's a whole nother thing to get into is the greebling stuff.
Yeah.
I've seen some wow. I mean, it's just stuff you don't think about, you know? I mean, and then you see somebody do it and you're like, wow,
Yeah.
okay. Like that's next level stuff. How about a greebling habitat? There you go. Yeah.
The mind wobbles.
I'll check in with you later this year. You have a couple things that I would like to check in later this year. The Greebling Habitat, Lego Ideas art set. So you're going to be quite busy this year. So
Yes, yes, yeah.
see, that's what I like to do. I love to put these thoughts in everybody's minds that I talk to, and that gets me to get you back so I can
Oh,
check in later on.
yeah. It's just like a little itch now, you know. Oh, Keith is gonna ask me about the greebling.
You know, no, I mean, I have somebody I challenged mixing. Do you know M Brick Maiden?
Yeah, well, I don't know her, but I follow her, and I
Okay,
actually
yeah.
watch you guys' interaction. She made a video that I must have watched like 5 times in a row. It just spoke to me. It was so freaking funny. So yeah, I like her very much.
I challenged her for a castle challenge, and then she hates Star Wars, so I challenged her to mix Star Wars with castle.
Right?
So, So, I'm just trying, just because you don't like something, I'm going to try to push you into your, a comfort zone that you don't have
Does she
and try to mix something.
does she hate Star Wars, or she just hadn't watched it? Did she
So,
actually like it?
yeah,
I
no,
can't
so
remember.
I don't, she said she hadn't seen them. So that was her goal for
So
25 was to watch the
weird.
original.
God. I need to be friends with this woman
Yeah.
because we need to watch Star Wars.
Do you know who King Katie's is over in Australia? She's one of the land members over there. I don't know if you ever come across her account.
I don't know.
Oh, well,
I'll have to check.
look into her. It's King Caitys. You know what? I actually need you to poke her about that because she refuses to touch anything Star Wars. She just has something for Star Wars. Anytime we mention Star Wars, she just gets that face or she'll give you the cold shoulder. She will not talk about it.
Oh,
So,
so
so anytime we see her, we try to push Star Wars.
just give her a little poke, huh?
Yeah, hey, that's all you got to do. So, um, just a couple more things before I don't want to keep you too long. But I know I mentioned about the photography stuff.
Yeah,
Now let's bring Lego back into it. So you do bring Lego into your photography. So what do you like to do with photography and Lego?
I do. So I have two favorite minifigures. It started with the little wood elf with the
Yep.
acorn hat.
Yep.
I named him Woody.
Okay.
And then I think it was it last year that the little
The mushroom.
mushroom sprite
Yeah. Yep.
came out. So now Woody has a companion, and her name is
Okay.
Mary. And I have a little plastic kind of like little tackle box that I keep in my bag, and
Okay.
it has Woody and Mary
Okay.
and all kinds of, I'll call them accessories. There's a
Sure.
canoe, and there's just a variety of things, and I have that with me everywhere. It's in my
Okay.
purse,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
because I never know when I'm going to be somewhere where I feel like that's the perfect spot for Woody and or
Yeah.
Mary.
Yeah.
And so I love to take them with me when we go to the botanical garden,
Okay.
or I find something just even in our yard. Um, and I just love to photograph them outside.
So
And
you're the minifigure photography, I guess we'll
yeah,
call it. Yeah.
I do love it. In fact, I love it so much. Okay. Don't laugh at me. Um, So I made myself my own little desk calendar of
Oh my
with my photos.
gosh, that's amazing. Oh, that's fantastic. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. I love minifigure photography, so that's up my alley there.
I do. We Shelly Corbett, I don't know if you've run across her account, but she lives in this area, in the Seattle
Okay.
area. And I ran across her work at like art
Sure.
fairs, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, somebody's photographing little Lego minifigures and the photos are so good and they're so in fact she did this one, the
Oh,
little
I was wondering what that was. Okay, yeah. Yep.
yeah, it's stormtroopers on
Oh,
bicycle
that's fantastic.
in the rain. And anyway, I loved her work, and I started finding more examples of minifigure photography on
Yep.
Instagram,
Yep.
which is where I spend most of my social media time. And yeah, I got the bug, and I just love it. I just love
It's 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 incredible what you can do with minifigures. I mean, there's
it. Yeah.
any face you can imagine, any shirt, any pants, any accessory. So you literally can take them anywhere and you can put them in any situation you want. And yeah, I was looking at the photography picture on your page, and I mean, they're incredible. I mean, it's really cool to see the ideas that people come up with the minifigures in real life
Yeah.
situations. And
Yeah.
it's also crazy, like when you can get at that certain vantage point where it actually looks like they're in the world. And that's their world. It's incredible. I mean, it really
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. There's a story there, right?
Yeah.
There's
Yep.
there's a story, which is really fun.
Yep. All right. So then, conventions. So you said you have one in possibly May and then another in September.
Yeah, so I went to my first convention last September as a participant. Like I
Okay.
brought some of
Yeah.
my thing and I did the whole thing. Like I went to presentations, I did a
Okay.
draft, I played games, I met so many cool people. hung out with the public.
Sure.
It was probably the 4 best days I've had, and I don't know how long. It was just
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
it was like positively cranked to 11.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and yeah, so I've signed up to go down to the Portland convention,
Okay.
Bricks Cascade,
Oh, I heard of
in May,
that. Okay.
and
Yeah.
then I'll do BrickCon again, which is our Seattle area
Okay.
one here. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm really excited because for the first I'm going to my first convention. We're going to Brick World Chicago. So
Well, that's big for your first one.
I'm really excited. So yeah, so I don't know if you've seen. I do a couple lives with Mav Bricks. So we host a couple lives Mondays and Fridays. So we're going as a tandem, I guess you
Mhm.
can say. And we're actually planning on doing one of our lives at like a local bar or restaurant on that Friday night. And then we're hoping to get to meet some of the people that that we get to talk to. Because like you said, it's a really nice feeling to have those friends on here,
Yeah.
but then it's a whole new world when you're with your people. Speak of the devil, there he is. When you're with your people in person, like, and you actually get to like enjoy the joy or the passions that you share together in person rather than just over the phone or
Yeah.
Instagram.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
and you got to experience that at your conventions.
Yeah, and I can't believe the connections I made at this convention. There's I live in a suburb called Kent. It's a city, but it's a suburb of Seattle called Kent.
Okay.
And I, I met, someone at the convention, and somehow it came up that I lived in Kent, and they're like, "Oh, well, do you know so and so?" I'm like, "No, I don't know
Mhm.
so and so." And before I knew it, I found out they had their own little lug just
Oh,
for
okay.
Kent. And
Oh, nice.
and they have it, it's they call it the Kent Lug Dinner Club. And
Oh,
they just
nice.
they just get together once a month and have dinner. And so
Oh, that's nice.
I'm part of this Kent Lug Dinner Club now, and I have dinner with them once a month, and it is so
Yeah,
fun. They're so nice to
yeah.
hang out with them. They're so wonderful, and yeah, I love it.
Well,
Having the best
again,
time.
yeah, yeah. When you get to enjoy the people in person, it's a whole new world than when you're just talking over,
Yeah,
over the phone or whatnot. So,
yeah. I want to meet
uh,
everybody. I
yeah,
do. All these
I,
people. I'm like, I
I,
want to meet you all.
that's I will say that has been the only bad thing about my experience here is that I can't meet the people I want to meet. Like I'm not rich, and I'm meeting all these great people, and I wish I could fly to Washington. I wish I could fly to Boston or Atlanta or whatever, and get to go to these conventions and meet these people. And that's the only downfall is I'm meeting so many great people, and
Uh,
more than likely I probably won't get to meet most of them, and it's a shame. And so that's why I'm really enjoying doing these because I actually get to have the as close as a one-on-one interaction as I'll probably be able to in most situations. So
it's awesome.
um,
I'm enjoying I'll say watching them, but what I do is I basically turn your interviews or your
yeah,
interactions into a podcast. So I'll listen to them in the car,
yep,
so I get to
okay,
hear you guys talking about stuff. So it's
yeah,
fun.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. Well, that's why I wanted to make sure I posted them after because I know not everybody can join at the times. I mostly do them later because I put my son to bed and all that, and so
Yeah.
um, Thursdays are usually at 8s, but then that's not good for everybody, so that's why I started doing the Saturday nights. Um, and then I started running into the problems with people overseas. And with the time differences,
Yeah.
that's why I started doing like some random Tuesdays or stuff like that because it's just how the schedules work. So, like last week, I was slammed. I did something every day. Like it was just,
Wow.
it wasn't all bricks and beyond, but amongst everything I did, I had something every day. And at the end of the week, I was like, "Whew, okay, here's next week.
Yeah.
But it's fun, and I love doing it. So
See, and that's what makes the difference. Like someone might say, "Oh, he's crazy. He's doing some posting every day or doing a live every day or whatever." But when you enjoy it,
yeah,
it doesn't feel like
yeah,
anything. You
yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Yep. And I will say, you're actually the first person that I've kept over an hour.
I'll
Um,
watch anytime.
and Yeah, no, I just looked up and I saw his, and I used to have to watch the time because when I was under 1,000 followers, it cut me off at an hour.
Oh,
And so, yeah, and so that's why I don't know if you ever saw, I had like this big push at one time. I was like, can you guys just help me? Like, I don't care about the followers. Like, that's not what I'm here
yeah,
for. But
yeah,
I did at that point because I had like two guests where I looked at the time and it was like 9:55 and I was like, oh crap, like I got to wrap this up because when you cut a live and then like because I post them in that amount of time of cutting a live, posting it, and then trying to restart, you lost your audience.
yeah.
So and I didn't think that was fair to the people I was hosting because I wanted them to have their time. And so I had to start saying, just so you know, I have to cap it at an hour. But now I'm a free man, so I don't really
Yeah.
care. I have 4 hours. I still try to keep it to an hour, but I don't care if I run over. So um but yeah, so is there anything else? Do you have any other mocks with you or habitats that you didn't
Um,
share or anything else you want to share?
uh, oh goodness. I mean, I've posted it all before,
Okay,
so
yeah.
um,
Okay.
yeah, so anyone who's interested, you just gotta check out Paige the Red Builds, and you can
Yes.
see all the fun that I am having,
So
which is a lot.
I will have it in the description, but you are at hold on, I'm seeing it scroll by here. It's at yeah, at page underscore the underscore red underscore builds.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yep. Okay. So
I
you
even
can check her out and follow her there.
I have to check Instagram to remember how I did it. Is it periods? Is it underscore? I don't know. My husband again is the IT guy, so he helped me come up with it. It's his name. He came up with
So
I'm
so if
Paige the
somebody
Red.
has a problem with it, we'll send them to him.
That's right. It's his fault. If you don't like Paige the Red, that's my name. That's all my husband's fault. So
Well, hey, he's not here to defend himself, so we'll
no.
keep it at that.
I like it that way.
Well, so like I said before, obviously I put some ideas into your head, so I would love to check in with you, down the year here in 2025. If
Yeah.
you're open to come back, I'd love to have you again.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely. Yeah. Anytime you can just message me to say hi.
Yeah,
Any.
well, for sure. Yeah, I definitely. That's the one thing I tend to scroll through, and the algorithm kills me. This is
Yeah.
one of my biggest pet peeves, and this is one of the reasons why I did this was there's so many creative people, and even if they don't want to be pushed or seen, I want them to be pushed or seen because there's amazing people out there, and I think a lot of people are missing out on seeing some of the incredible stuff that people build. So
Yeah. Yeah.
let's push, let's get people out there. That's the goal, is I want people to be seen because they deserve it. So,
Thank you. That's very.
and
It's. I
yes,
really appreciate that you thought of me and
yes.
included that.
Well,
And
you
I.
were you're a very special person, and you, my one of my taglines is keep being you and keep doing what you're doing because you're amazing at what you do.
Thank you
So
so much. Very kind of you.
I appreciate you taking your time to stop by tonight, and like I said, I hope to see you here down the road, and I will obviously keep checking your page out. If you want to post some updates on some of your challenges, then I'd be interested to, because
Okay.
I'm gonna bug you about them.
Good. Good. I'll. Now I got to come up with something greebly.
Yes, agreeably habitat and a Lego art ideas set or
Yeah.
submission. We'll say.
That. That's
So
probably the first thing I should work on. I have an idea in my head, and I want to see
okay,
if I can do it. So,
okay,
all right.
all right.
Thanks.
Well, I will check in with you on that, and then
Thank
if you
you.
don't mind, I'm just gonna plug. I have. Let me check my schedule here because I'm all over the place. Okay, so I'm not another Bricks and Beyond until next Thursday. That's the 16th, and that'll be at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. So tune in for that, everybody. If you're not following Paige again, it's at Paige underscore the underscore red underscore builds
Yep.
on Instagram. Follow her, check out all of her amazing mocks, habitats, art, photography, everything. Check it out. It's amazing. I will see you sometime in the future, and I'll see everybody next Thursday.
Thanks, Keith. I'll see
All
you
right.
later.
Hey, thanks so much. Have a
You
good
too.
one. All
Bye
right.
bye.
Bye bye.